I need you to lock in, okay? Because all of this starts on February 9, 2020, when foreign currency was stolen from the President Phala Wildlife Game Farm in Limpopo. $580,000 was reportedly concealed inside a leather sofa, also known as Bradlow's Banking Corporation.
Yaks.
It's worth noting that it is generally illegal for a South African resident to hold that much cash in foreign currency for an extended period. So having all that money, valued at 8.7 million rand at the time, would then be a potential violation of the Currency and Exchange Act. All this money came from Mustafa Muhammad Ibrahim Hazim, a Sudanese millionaire and businessman based in Dubai. He visited Phala on Christmas Day 2019 and paid in cash for 20 buffalo, which he's never collected. The money, however, did not suffer the same fate. Stolen in an inside job led by domestic worker Foliana Joseph, who is accused of tipping off her brother, who in turn coordinated the burglary with mastermind Emanuela David. Obviously, after a theft, the next step would be to get the cops involved, especially because South African law requires that a theft of this magnitude involving foreign currency must be reported at a police station. Which is not what happened here. Head of Security Wally Rood tracked suspects to Namibia and used state resources to recover the funds privately. The theft only became public 2 years later when Arthur Fraser filed a criminal complaint at the Rosebank police station, after which the presidency issued a formal statement confirming that the robbery had indeed taken place. ATM, or the African Transformation Movement, immediately used Arthur Fraser's affidavit to draft a Section 89 motion. This is the formal mechanism under South African Constitution used to remove a sitting president from office. Keep this in mind for later, because it's not like a motion of no confidence and can only be triggered on these specific grounds. The Speaker of the National Assembly could not ignore the motion because the affidavit contained specific allegations of constitutional breaches. And so, the Section 89 motion kicked in. Stage 1 was an independent 3-person panel of legal experts led by retired Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo. Their primary function was to determine whether there was anything, at first glance, that could indicate any evidence of a serious violation, which they found. Specifically regarding the president's involvement in the farm's business and the shadow investigation into the theft, the panel concluded that Mr. President had a case to answer. Stage 2 was the formal impeachment committee. Or at least it was supposed to be. The National Assembly, or Parliament, instead held a vote on December 13, 2022 because of a rule that allowed the majority party, the ANC at the time, to circumvent the impeachment process. So on that day, the ANC used its majority, 214 votes against 148, to reject the report. Not so quick though, is what the EFF and ADM said, as they argued that the National Assembly had failed in its constitutional obligation to hold the president accountable, and that Rule 129I gave the majority party an unconstitutional veto power over a legal inquiry, filing an application directly with the Constitutional Court, the highest level court in the land. The President and the Speaker of the National Assembly initially fought to have the case dismissed before it was even heard, which failed. After the case sat before the court for over 500 days, Chief Justice Mandisa Maya finally handed down judgment. The court declared the 2022 vote to block the report was irrational and unconstitutional. It not only struck down Rule 129I, but also rewrote it to say that if a Stage 1 panel finds a case to answer, the matter must proceed to the impeachment committee automatically. This is where the impeachment versus motion of no confidence chat is important, where the latter requires a loss of confidence in the office and also allows said president to run for office again. An impeachment would permanently bar President Cyril from holding public office and remove all benefits, which include pension, security, and a fully funded private office with administrative staff, drivers, and technical assistants. Fun fact.
Okay.
Unlike the 2022 attempt, the president now faces a parliament where the ANC no longer holds an outright majority. At the time of writing, the party's executive leadership was meeting to discuss the way forward. Parliamentary Speaker Thoko Didiza will formally invite political parties to nominate members to the Section 8 committee, where they'll subpoena witnesses and facilitate public hearings. And we will see
which justifies impeachment and the removal of the president. Instead, a constitutional court judgment reinforces the principles, the rights and processes underpinning our constitutional order. This explicitly includes the right to take the report of the independent panel on review. I therefore respectfully want to make it clear that I will not resign.
Monday the 11th of May was a bombshell of a day, with President Cyril deciding to go band for band in the courts, disputing the legal weight and the source of evidence used in the Ngobo report. It is very likely that the president's legal team tries to stall the impeachment committee from starting its hearings and dispute, amongst other things, Action SA's claims that the amount stolen was actually 50 million rand. This is all while the MK party formally filed a notice for a motion of no confidence, requesting that the vote be held via a secret ballot. Regardless of the ultimate outcome, I think we're about to enter a tumultuous period for the legacy and credibility of Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, the man who very well might still be the first ever South African president to be removed from public office.